I wanted to ask you something.
Yes, ask me.
You are proud to be African, right?
Yes.
But do you think you would have lived a better life if you were not African?
Of course, 100%.
Why?
White superiority, my friend.
White superiority, do you think it is a thing?
I don't think it is a thing. It is a thing. You see, I always tell people that whenever you are born, like African especially, you're already one step behind.
You lost some aura. To be honest, yeah, like you started the race way behind. I watched the
It
video.
was made to be that way for a reason. You know, no matter there's some things. For example, where we are,
Yes.
okay. There's always that stereotyping, like
Yesterday, exactly, Charles and I, we interacted to this topic.
you see, once you know, no matter how different or no matter how your mindset is different, just you being you, you're already categorized as a Nigerian, for example.
Yes. Do you know what is the worst thing about you? Like for you, you are not from Nigeria, but for them, you are Nigerian.
You are Nigerian.
And you're like people, you need to understand.
It's like
the
Nigeria
difference.
is one big country
Exactly.
in Africa.
Like for them, there is no like Nigeria is a country in Africa. No. Nigeria is the continent.
In back home when you're growing, how was the geography lessons? Would they teach you guys the map for Africa? Or
Yeah. They were teaching us everything.
So how come most people, some of them, even Arabs I've seen, is it that they're ignorant
It is,
or they are dumb?
I would say, an individual choice.
But most of them, let's say 90% of them that I've met, for example, the only countries that I didn't have much information about were like Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, all these Stan countries. I had much less knowledge, you see, before I came to this part of the world. Then I started learning, because all you learn about is America, UK, China, all
Yes,
these kind of
the
things.
main countries.
Yeah, the main countries, you know. Even Syria from the Bible, during the stories, Damascus, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
That's how I became to know, in Israel and Egypt, all this. It's always been like one
Big fight since
one
ever.
big fight. And Middle East, like if you see most of the stories in the Bible, they happen around Middle East.
Yeah, because of like Jerusalem's how back in the day there was no such thing as Saudi, so it was like they call it the semi-Arabian island or something like this.
It was an island?
That's what semi-island. They called it like something that looks like an island, because if you look at the map, Saudi is like there is the Red Sea,
Red Sea, yeah.
what do they call it? The Mediterranean Sea
Mediterranean
and
Sea.
the Arabian Gulf. So all the sides, only one side they didn't have sea. That's why they called it like almost like an island. But there was no such thing as Saudi. Saudi is, I don't know, like not that old, you know. That's a conflict they had in Saudi. I don't want to go there. But what I want to say, I watched a video the other day supporting your thing. A guy was saying a story about himself. He went to UK and he was held hostage. Not hostage, what did they call it? He was held at the airport.
Detained.
Detention for like almost 2 days. They were searching him, interrogating him, doing all the possible things. They couldn't find anything on him. And the officer on the way out, he told him like, look son, you didn't do anything wrong. Your only mistake that you were born Yemeni. And then he just left. So same, let's say for me, I'm not an African. I'm Syrian, which is almost same shit.
What
you know?
mean it's
Almost the same shit, because I mean, I've had it in my experience. People are treating you in a certain way. The moment they find out, oh, look, this guy is Syrian, shit, 100% they change their attitude. And I'm like, bro, why?
But I'd like to ask you one question. Why is it that people that seem to come from backgrounds that suffer. For example, you guys were suffering because of the war and this kind of things. And let's say Africa was suffering from colonization. Why is it the world doesn't come and support these people, but actually the world comes and actually tries
Steps
to
on
steps
them.
on them again? You
That's
see?
how the world functions. It is survival of the strongest when it comes to stuff like this. Because the word, I believe, like the rich always feed on the poor. The rich, they always try to convince you, like, look, money doesn't buy you happiness. They don't want you to be rich. Money fucking buys you happiness. I'd rather be sad with lots of money than poor. Because, I mean, once you get a flu, what are you going to do if you're poor?
In that case, do you think that religion has played a part in...
Religion did not play a part. People used it as a play.
So it played a part.
Look, if I tell you, I don't know what example to
Because
bring
don't
you.
misunderstand me or anything. In most cases, when you see the most religious people that spend maybe time going to the mosque, or people going to church, or people going to the synagogue, or people going to their religious worship, most of these people are like poor, to be honest.
Poor.
Yeah, poor.
They're supposed to be okay. They're not supposed to be poor.
No, but most of them, they are not at the top of the, like, you don't find maybe Bill Gates, let's just say he's a Christian.
Yeah.
You don't find him at church every Sunday, for
No.
example. Or which successful Muslim is there?
Look, there are a lot of successful Muslim figures,
Yeah.
but as you said, they're not really associated to religion. You see, because
I'm not saying that they don't pray, like, or they don't have any religious life, yes. But what I'm trying to say is religion has been made to try, has been used is the right word, has been used to try and limit some people. Because when you see in most communities or in most countries, most of the people that are like poor, they go spend most of their time, they are waiting maybe for water or for free food or for these kind of things at church. They always think that the religion is going to come and save them somehow.
okay.
You see?
This is yesterday. I was, earlier I was talking to Faris about one thing.
Yeah.
This is something I interacted with.
Yeah.
There was a video yesterday that I watched. It pissed the shit out of me off. A guy, clearly super rich, in his fancy car, sitting, and he was like, guys, I'm going to teach you the fastest way to be wealthy. And I'm like, interesting. There is no such thing as fast way to be wealthy, but let me see what bullshit he's going to spit. And he said, repeat after me. I beg forgiveness from God. I pay witness that there is no God but Allah, and this kind of thing. The guy was Muslim. And he was like reciting verses from Quran, and they exist in Quran. In the context of, if you always mention me, God says, if you always mention me, if you beg for forgiveness, I'm gonna send you wealth. But the guy didn't take it all the way to the end, because God at the same time tells you, you want something from me to grant you, you have to work for it. You don't just sit and wait for God to send you a boat. There is this story. The guy was drowning, and
That was what?
one guy was drowning in water.
Okay.
And he was praying. He's like, God, please help me. And then there was like one boat. The guys were like, come, swim towards us. He said, no, I'm waiting for God to help me. He said, come. They were like, no, I'm waiting for God. God's going to help me. I believe in God. The second boat, the third boat, and the guy was just saying the same thing, like, God is going to help me. And then he
Maybe
died.
God was sending those boats
Exactly.
to come and help
The
you.
guy died and he went to afterlife, and then he met God. It's just a hypothetical story. So the guy was like, God, where were you? I was praying for you. And God was like, you idiot, I sent you 3 boats. You see? People tend to be like, you know what? God's going to be there for me. But God tells you, work for it. I mean, I believe it's like, regardless to the religion, whether it is Islam, whether it is Christianity, you see? But just like that guy in the video, just for clouds, just for views, he says something like that. Because I see in the comments, people started really praying and like mentioning God in the comment section. One of these guys gonna go back home and start praying really hard, but they're not gonna work for it. And then after some time, they're not gonna get anything, definitely, because they're not working for it. Because they expect, once you pray for God, God's just gonna gift you things. They're gonna lose the chance to make money, and they're gonna lose faith in God. just because of a fucking video like that.
I always think that what the fuck did I want to say? It was a very important point. So,
Think about it.
but it was two different points that I was trying to mix.
Another stupid video. While you remember.
I forget. Wait, just give me a second. Okay, let me just continue talking about something.
Another stupid video, and I don't mean to be sexist, but and they always write or they say podcast is not for everyone. Well, I don't disagree. I don't agree. Look at us, we have a podcast, but sometimes scrolling down the feeds on Instagram, some videos pop up of female influencers. I'm not convinced with that anyway. So yesterday, one knucklehead girl, she says, you have to think big because, the bus has a lot of seat. The bus is for everyone. Go for a Lamborghini. A Lamborghini is only for two. And the other female podcaster is like, wow, that's deep. And I'm like, wow, that's fucking dumb. I mean, what do you mean don't take the bus, go for a Lamborghini? How the fuck am I going to afford the Lamborghini? They just spit some shit and they're just like, that's deep.
I wanted to say that the problem that we have as human beings, we think that God is like us. God thinks like us.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
You see? God is much bigger than you and me can ever... Okay.
Cut.
God is much bigger than me and you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
You see, I remember one time I was watching a video, like it was just live. Like it starts off in Earth, then it goes into the galaxy, then it's like, bro. And when you try and imagine, you'll be like,
what am I in
what
this
am I
whole in this whole thing?
in this whole thing,
Yeah.
And then I kept on watching it. I don't know what it triggered in me. I'm like,
I don't matter.
the way I see ants in the world. Okay, never mind ants. Ants are actually big. I can see them.
Yeah. Microbes.
I'm like, how great is God for him to create such? And when I was thinking of it, it comes in the aspect of science as well.
Yeah.
You see? I'm like, okay, so, bro, it doesn't make sense. Up to today, bro, there is no one ever in this world who can ever explain to me evolution or what this is. Everyone's got an idea. Everyone has got their own point of view. But, bro, it's deeper than that. Recently I've been listening to some things that, I've been trying to focus. I'm on a new journey. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to focus mainly on my energy. I think I've been sending you videos like that also.
I have two ideas about this, but I will tell you something. Look, energy does exist. Like some people, they call it energy. Some people, they call it spirit. Some people call it chakra, whatever it is. Yeah. But on that comment about like the universe and this, I'm going to share a photo on one of these two sides. Okay, let me put this side. I don't know if you've seen it. The whole universe, how it looks, and the brain cell, identical. A brain cell, a human brain cell, and the whole universe, they look identical. I'm like, are we a brain cell in someone? What? Like, you see? It is kind of scary,
You see, because the more you think of it, bro, like, I start to imagine, like, okay, someone is alive not because of flesh and blood. This is just like, how can I, like suit. Sand, or it's like...
It's just a suit.
You see?
Yeah. I mean, science so far could not explain a soul. What is a soul? Okay, like someone is alive, someone is dead. Yes, if you bring someone dead and you start pumping their blood and their heart, you can't do that, what do you call it, artificially?
Yeah.
But they're still dead. So there is like, the concept of the soul?
Yeah.
Once the soul leaves the body, what is a soul? Is it like waves? Is it electricity? Is it energy?
Energy, exactly.
Where is it exactly?
I've started to begin to think that it's like energy. This energy, to the human eye, to the flesh, to the brain, because we've been taught to understand things. That's why you see kids are grown, and there's this other thing that they were talking about. There was like a chemical that's prohibited or something like this. I think I sent them to you, like that you can use 70% of your brain.
It's like this movie,
like
Limitless.
Yes, something like that. You know.
Look, in the Islamic belief, it is not okay. It is forbidden, prohibited to hurt yourself, like damage yourself. You must take care of yourself, because in the Islamic beliefs, you are the soul, and your body is something God entrusted you with. The body does not belong to you. God gave you body, and God tells you like it is your job to live, worship, do whatever. Plus, take care of your body. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me. You are just a soul.
It's a temple of. Because, bro, if you think of it now, if you now want to think of the afterlife, okay, for example, the human body also is part of the ecosystem.
It is.
You see?
I mean, what do you believe? Like the body is made of what? Because in Islamic belief, we say that the human is made out of mud. God created Adam from mud, so we were created from earth, and we're gonna go back to earth.
Exactly, it's the same. Yeah.
But I have one thing. I hope my Muslim brothers don't fight me on this one.
This used to confuse me when I was a kid. When we used to go for Bible like Sunday school, we used to call it. Because I'll touch my
like what am I?
It was soft. Then touch mud. I'm like, what are these people saying? You know,
it was not really created straight from mud.
Yeah, I know. But when you're a child at that time,
of course,
you
you're
don't
like,
really
how did that
understand. And in the Bible also, there's a verse that say, not a verse. It says ashes to ashes. But I think, have you heard that? Like when someone is getting buried, like they say, when someone's getting buried, they like you go back to the earth or you go back to ashes. Because in my country, we've got two ways of
either buried or cremated.
Yes, or cremation. You see, because either way, after they cremate you, it's because they scatter you into water.
For us, no, you must be buried unless you die out of an accident or something happens to you. But there is one thing. I hope Muslim brothers and sisters don't fight me on this one. It's just a personal idea. You're a big fan of meditation, right?
Yeah.
So, if you look back at the stories of the prophets, you see, you will find that there is something in common. For example, Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was on a mountain and he was all by himself when the message was sent to him, when Gabriel was like sent down to him. So when you look at Moses, he saw like a flaming tree and he went and was it like this in the Bible as well? He went to the tree. He was all by himself. Like he left his people and he went and he was like alone. For us, when like in the Islamic beliefs about Mary, mother of Jesus, she went like alone when God sent Gabriel. All the prophets were like alone, and them like, what if they were meditating? What if they reached to a certain level of meditation where they could make it? They could like see beyond what we're seeing. Because all of them, they were alone. And all of them, they were not like in their home and God sent them a message. No, they were like out of their homes. Like they were far away. They left their people, they left everything. And I'm like, there is something we don't understand in religion. And sometimes I feel like I should not think of it.
Why?
Because it's like scary. There is no answer. There is no answer for some things. For example, and also in the Islamic beliefs, God, before he created the humans, there was like what we call in Arabic is jinn, was like demon. Okay, demon lived earth before humans, and before demon there was like, now there's like a different debate between scholars. There was like two different creatures, which is hin and bin. So these two creatures lived in earth and they were just messing it up. God sent demons to wipe them out, and then God sent Adam. Regardless, before these two creatures there were angels. Now, before all of this, what was God doing? All by himself.
Meditating?
No, but like what? Like what was he doing?
Meditating, bro.
Like for eternity, what was he doing? What's going on?
I'm saying
I asked one of the scholars. He kicked me out because he was like, don't think about this. This is a satanic belief. I'm like, well, God gave me the ability to think about it. It means there should be an answer. He said, there's no answer. I'm like, okay, well, you're not helping. And on and on and on and on until one of my friends, he's not religious. He didn't really answer the question, but he gave me something that shut down the idea, which is, he said, you were born and you're going to die. So you have the concept of before and after. And just like how God created you and me, God created time. Time does not exist in God. Like, you said God is beyond our understanding. God created time. So with the idea of time, there is also the idea of before and after. But once you go to heaven or hell, regardless,
there will be no time.
There is no time. You don't age. I would think it is the same for you. You don't age in heaven.
No, bro.
You don't age. You don't die. You don't go younger. You don't go older. In the Islamic belief, you go at the same age when Jesus was sent to heaven, we say. It's really funny how we started with you being African and then suddenly we're preaching with no background or whatsoever, just full on preaching. But here's the thing. I always tell my wife this. I'm going to teach my son the religion that I want him to understand. Because
before you get there,
yeah,
does he have a choice?
Does he have a choice? Yes and no. Why and how? Look, I hit rock bottom at some stage in my life. And I was not anywhere close to, let me call it religion, to be honest. I was in the stage of questioning what's going on. And questioning why do I have to do this and why do I have to do that. And after that, I came to the person where I am. I want to be religious. I really want to be religious, but life nowadays does not help you with that. The system, the society, if you, like for us, you have to pray 5 times a day. Unfortunately, even though it should be my priority, I'm not really finding 5 times a day. Like I'm merging 2 in 1 sometimes. But there are core beliefs that I want my son to believe in. There is no positive outcome if I just force it on him. Because the harder that I force it, the harder he's gonna react to it.
So in another episode, I think we should dive in more into discrimination and all these kind of things, Because this is where we were supposed to go.
Yeah, this is where we're supposed to go, but we didn't go there.
But then we took another branch,
But honestly, like discrimination, we were gonna talk about it briefly in the next episode, but it is a thing. Sometimes it's about the color, sometimes it's about the passport, sometimes it's about the religion, actually.
Sometimes it's about the gender.
It's about the gender, true.
Okay.
So I guess this is it for today. Peace.